flight boss, bitch. You know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of that Terry Smooth. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties of motherfucking responsibilities. And we're gonna talk about how to find your motherfucking career utilizing astrology. Now, I already got a video touching these bases, but for the most part, there's so many angles, there's so many aspects, there's so many ways to attack this that you will start to realize once you start to jump into your own energy signature. It's billions of ways you can get from point A to point B in this motherfucking realm that we are in. So this is what this motherfucker about. This endless. Astrology is endless. Same way you look in the sky, there's billions of stars, space is expanding and shit start to appear like it's endless and shit like that. That's how many motherfucking ways and directions your ass can create to find your motherfucking promised land and your motherfucking pot of gold at the end of the goddamn rainbow. So goddamn create a rainbow, create a vibration. And the vibration, the way it's moving is the frequency. So come up with an idea, a frequency, then come up with a vibe. That's the color that's how it's gonna look. The color is gonna look. And if you got high aspects, high ideals, that shit gonna look like a high horizon. Therefore you're gonna have a motherfucking rainbow, and then once your ass start to experience, aka move through that shit, you'll find the fucking pot of gold. And that pot of gold is whatever the fuck you want it to be. Whether it was a fucking business venture you wanted to get into, a relationship you wanted to get into, some money you wanted to get, an accomplishment, a goal, whatever that goal, aka gold, you wanted to create it at the end of that rainbow, it has to get manifested. But you have to throw the frequency out there, aka shoot the bow and arrow. Then it's gonna do like a signature. Then once you start to vibe that signature gonna look like a color. Then we can see your goddamn rainbow. Then your ability to express and go through those experiences, whether they're bad or good, at the end of the goddamn rainbow, I promise you it's a pot of gold. God damn it, ain't no leprechaun got shit on what the fuck I'm talking about. Now, for the most part, this is getting into finding your goddamn career. Now, here's another unique way you can find your career dealing with astrology right now. You see what I'm saying? Now, before I even get into this, you need to understand this, right? You need to be utilizing everything for your use. As a motherfucking spirit, anything outside of you is for your use. So you need to say, my thoughts. What was the point of you saying my in front of you saying thoughts? So goddamn, that's something outside of you. That's something you gotta use for you. Don't let nobody else take that shit. So your motherfucking thoughts, your light body, the densest one, which is this one, your chakras, man, you utilize these motherfuckers like they your bitch. You see what I'm saying? Now what you want to do is you utilize these and don't become these things. Don't be like, oh, this is my feelings. Oh, these is my thoughts. No, you need to psych your subconscious mind up and be like, oh yeah, I'm right. These is my feelings. These is my thoughts. Let me put this shit to work, because it ain't really me. Because your spirit is your virtue, your persons. So don't get lost in any type of person who's the owner of an intellectual property that have thrown it on you to the point that you have lost your virtue through the virtual reality. Therefore, your virtue and your whole sense of persons, your whole sense of spirit and personality, you don't even know yourself unless you get some kind of reaction based upon the virtual reality your virtue is trapped in based upon these motherfucking beings. So now you ain't got no sense of yourself unless you get some attention paid to your Facebook name, to your Instagram name, to your social media name, to your email name. And when I ain't getting no traction and when I ain't getting no attention, you at home somewhere, you feel like you depleted. You feel like you ain't nobody. So you want to do some crazy shit to be like somebody, but you need to know that that's a motherfucker owner of that intellectual property who put that database out there for you to take your virtue and trap it into that virtual reality. Therefore, now you ain't got no sense of yourself unless it's something that's vibrating within that virtual reality. Get your motherfucking virtue back, motherfucker. You need to know your state of being. So for the most part, if you want to understand how to, quickly find your career or what you're good at right now, here's when we get into this right now. Let's talk about the houses. So now, like I said, everything should be in like a trine state type of aspect when you're talking about building something, because you are a trine being. So you are in this reality as a trine being. You have a masculine, feminine, and a physical. So for the most part, do not let no old religions tell you that the spirit is correlated to the masculine, because here's how they blind you with the illusion, right? The masculine energy will be masking them saying that the spirit is fire. The masculine energy will be masking them saying that the spirit is air or the breath. The masculine energy will be masking them saying the God, the Holy Spirit, what was it? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. You see what I'm saying? They will have you thinking that the Holy Spirit aspect is something more than is mixed in with the masculine. So therefore, you can only see representations of a spirit through masculine energy. So you'll have a religious person tell you that a female shouldn't preach in church, or a female shouldn't be the one to carry out the word in any way, shape, or form. It's just a whole bunch of losses that y'all can get to the physical. You even got people saying it's blood and water and shit. So for the most part, these are just all physical shapes and forms that's correlated to Anu, Anunnaki, Anubis, new coming, second coming, day, happiness. That's all correlated to the masculine energy. That's after the fact. That's the physical shape and form. That's a new day. You see what I'm saying? So when you wanna understand the most powerful energy signature in this realm of reality, you need to understand its happiness, because the star that you under right now is dealing with the yellow spectrum. So anytime you take the yellow spectrum, and then once you want to move with your happiness, that's AKA indulge and what you're excited about. So you start to use forms of excitement that's back to support it off what you're happy about, and start to look orange. So now it has red in it. So now this is happiness moving. So happiness moving is a person that wants to be seen. But think about a person at their happiest state. You see what I'm saying? This is the actual highest energy frequency in this realm of reality right now, which is happiness. So it doesn't matter what you're doing, whether it's negative or positive. If you're happy by doing it, can't nobody touch you. See, this realm of reality has different kind of laws that's backed and supported in this realm than other shit. So that's what you need to understand. So when you wanna say a ocean current comes from happiness. So anytime you at your most blissful, happiest state, that's when you create the best river, your best chakra, your best current. You know what I'm saying? And within that current is a person going in within themselves. So that's how you start to spin it. The hydrogen, helium, then you start to spinning, and then that happiness creates it came from the energy signature of a person going in within themselves. So anytime you have a same element going in within the element that it is itself, it carry out the energy signature of gay. Now gay is not what y'all want to call it low vibrational wise today, which as far as homosexual, that's not really what gay is. Gay is actually happiness. And happiness is when a person can be happy with themselves, aka go within themselves, and they don't need no external references to make themselves happy. Therefore, they know how to go internally and make themselves happy. But when you go to a being straight at the beginning of this energy, this is talking about an energy signature of just a being going in within themselves. And keyword default. By default, this would create the energy signature of happiness and the first color spectrum of yellow coming from the blank white canvas. Now, the blank whiteness is just dealing with faintness. It's dealing with non-emotions. And it's dealing with very vague thoughts that's not being honed in on. So it's not even being no color, no vibrations on it. And when the first color spectrum that come from white, most of the time, when you talk about esoteric-wise in the 4th, 5th, or 6th dimension, will be the aspect of the star happy of yellow, which is supposed to be blue. It's supposed to be light blue, faint blue, but y'all ruled by this star right now, so it's making everybody super happy about nothing. See what I'm saying? Without utilizing intellect. So, Mercury kind of took over the aspect of blue, which is forms of communicating and analyzing and dealing with your spaceship and not having too much feelings involved. And happiness is a form of a feeling. So when you're utilizing intellect and rationality, there's not too much feelings involved. You see what I'm saying? But for the most part, let's get into this motherfucker, how to find your career. Because y'all know I'm on charge right now, so I'm getting into some other shit. Let me come back down to earth. Alright. Looking at the first house, the 6th, and the 10th house. Now, the first house lord, the 6th house lord, and the 10th house lord is kind of going to give you the aspect of your career. So that's why I brought up the trine system. Because if you're looking for love, make sure you create a trine system within your astrological chart. Whether you're looking for love, whether you're looking for business, whether you're looking for inspiration, whether you're looking for a place of comfortability, or whether you're looking for a career, which is what this video is about right here. Start correlate everything into a trine system. So when you're thinking about the career, here's will be this trine system. It will be the first house lord, the 6th house, and the 10th house lord. You see what I'm saying? So understanding those 3 house lords will kind of give you an aspect of how your career is supposed to play out. Now, for the most part, your first house lord, wherever that star is at, wherever house is in, that's going to be the area of life your personality is most welcomed at. See what I'm saying? So if your first house lord is in the second house, your personality is going to be most welcoming to value systems, what other people value, what you have to offer to the world, which 9 times out of 10 may be your talents. You know what I'm saying? Your personality is going to be most welcome with your talents. So you may not even be as talented as someone else, but just because your first house lord is in the second house, you always will get ahead of somebody way quicker. This is how you even get these aspects of a lousy person getting the job before somebody else. You see what I'm saying? But it goes deep into the shit. Same way how y'all listen to people's songs that might be phony and you be like, damn, why they blowing up and shit like that. It doesn't matter the illusion that they're creating. Their state of being is just in that energy signature that they're going to experience that regardless of how that illusion look in this realm of reality. That energy signature plays out through many multitudes of realms of reality. That just may be the way it's playing out in this realm of reality. So don't be holding people who may be trash as fault. Their spirit just is in a space that they're going to manifest that shit regardless. It doesn't matter what come out they goddamn mouth. You see what I'm saying? So that's what you got to understand. Once you understand your energy, you won't waste half of your life trying to do things the way other people are doing, and you will be able to get from point A to point B a lot faster. This is where it comes to people following celebrities and things of that nature. Then they come up with all kind of religious aspects within that itself. You know what I'm saying? And that's why people downfall so much. But for the most part, that's why I'm here to teach everybody how to be your goddamn self. A star. A sail. You know what I'm saying? Now, for the most part, because we all becoming stars. Now, when we talk about the 6th house lord, the 6th house lord is going to tell you what area of life you need to keep on schedule to keep the business going. And the 10th house lord is going to tell you what area of life the career should be directed in. So for the most part, the first house, now like I said, if you have the first house lord in the first house, then that means that your personality should be catered towards something that's dealing with other people's personal issues, handling personal affairs. You may be a personal counselor. You know what I'm saying? You may deal with personal personalities. You may help other people who got personality disorders. You may be a person like a personal counselor. That's a perfect key word for it. Things that's dealing with the person now and a person's persons. If you got the first house lord in the first house, look towards that area. If you got the 6th house lord in the 6th house, then you're a person who's probably very good at, and you need to jump into something that's dealing with scheduling for others. You know what I'm saying? Practicalizing things, making sure things is in order, making sure things is in working fashion for other people. So you could be a publicist. You could be somebody's secretary. You could be somebody's manager. Like, you see what I'm saying? This, that, and the third. And if you got the 10th house lord in the 10th house, you know what I'm saying, then you need to be dealing with something that's dealing with broadcasting in general. Something that's dealing with broadcasting, or something that's dealing with popularity. So you may come up with some type of program that people can go through to make themselves popular. So you may not necessarily be gaining the popularity for it, but you may be the person like Tom off of MySpace. You sit back getting all the bread while everybody else is blowing up off what you created, which was like MySpace. You see what I'm saying? So Tom probably a person who had the 10th house lord in the 10th house. But that's what you need to understand when we talk about the house lords. Now let's just break it down naturally. So you need to pay attention to your first house lord, your second house lord, and your your first house lord, your 6th house lord, and your 10th house lord. Now, I'm going to put myself up on the cross so you can get a clear understanding. Like, because you can hear me say something, but if you don't know how to do it for yourself, it's going to be like, damn, okay, I get it, but I got to watch this video over. So this is why it's always important to, whatever circumstance and situation you're going through, whatever religion, whatever theology, whatever philosophy, whatever information, whatever you're getting into, always apply it to yourself. And once you apply it to yourself, then you will see how it actually works. Then once you see how it actually works, you can see how you can apply it for yourself. You see what I'm saying? Therefore, it won't be no attachments to whatever shapes and forms you're creating out of that energy signature. Now, for the most part, now I'm gonna hang myself up on the cross. Now look, my first house lord is the sun, because I got a Leo ascendant. So my first house lord is the sun. Now since I'm an Aries sun sign, I got an Aries 9th house. So my first house lord is in the 9th house. So your first house is your personality, personal issues, and affairs. So for the most part, you need to take your first house, and wherever the star that rules your first house is at, that's where your personality is going to be most acceptable. So for the most part, my personality is most acceptable in the area of education, wisdom, knowledge, meanings, reasonings, broad philosophical points of views of looking at the world, spirituality, and God. moral systems, morality, all things that's dealing with the ninth house energy. So the more I utilize my personality and apply it into ways of teaching or apply it into ways of experiences, rather if I'm going through even a mundane experience amongst my neighborhood, I'm probably going to be the more I express my personality within that experience, it show other people around examples on what to do and what not to do. Whether I'm vibrating low in an area or vibrating high, I'm on both sides. That's how I'm able to come at everything. You see what I'm saying? But for the most part, this how it would play out. But from a teacher aspect, you know what I'm saying? This will be a person who can they're personally accepted to be a teacher. So I can utilize and construct my personal life around ninth house things. So I could become a teacher, I could become a philosopher, I can utilize wisdom and knowledge. As long as I'm taking my personal life and personal issues and applying it with ninth house things, boom, I'm always going to be acceptable. Now I need to know how to make a career out of that. Now I need to look at my 10th house. So my 10th house Lord is Venus. Because my 10th house Lord, my 10th house is Taurus. So my 10th house Lord is in the 10th house. So anytime you got a house Lord in that house, you have power and control over that house. But that don't mean you don't have an obstacle. That don't mean it's all good. Your obstacle come into you can't be too power and controlling in that area, and you can't be too passive, because they both lead down the same area, which is that triangle. Rather, either end you're on is going to lead down that triangle. This is why you have to do everything in a trine to understand where you're going and understand both aspects to be in the center space of knowing whatever the fuck you got going. Now, for the most part, now I got the 10th house Lord, the 10th house. So the more I make my career about broadcasting something, being known and being seen for something. Now, what I'm being known and being seen for, because that's the 10th house, being known, what you're known for, how you're seen, what ultimately can become your career and your popularity level and your status, right? So, since that's my 10th house, right? And then since my 10th house Lord is in the 10th house, I need to make a career out of broadcasting. I need to know what the career is. Now, what did I just tell you? Your first house Lord. Now, since my first house Lord is in my 9th house, the more I take my personality and personal issues and consume it into wisdom, philosophy, or teaching in some type of way, right? Now, since my career is about, my 10th house Lord is in the 10th house, since that's about broadcasting, then what did I tell you? I need to broadcast my first house Lord. So I need to broadcast my knowledge, broadcast my philosophy, broadcast my spirituality, broadcast my education level. Therefore, it doesn't matter how high my education level is or how low it is. It's going to be accepted because this is just the energy signature I'm in. Y'all starting to get it now? All right, now look. Now the 6th house. All right, yeah. All right, look. Now my 6th house Lord. Now my motherfucking 6th house Lord is motherfucking Saturn, because Capricorn rules my 6th house. So Saturn is in my 5th house. So the 6th house represents things that you're working on, and your work in general, or health, or scheduling, or routine, or things that you got on a day-to-day basis, and things that you practicalize and be able to look at the details and criticize. Now, and it's also dealing with health. Now, the 5th house is representing how you express yourself, how you have fun and enjoy yourself, and how you dive into your creative endeavors. So whatever you're creatively inspired to do, also it's the house of entertainment. So for the most part, when we get into the circumstance and situation of having a 6th house Lord in the 5th house, this is a person that has to keep their routine, or keep this on a day-to-day basis, or analyze and look at the details of the way they express themselves. Always work on their creativity. So as long as I'm constantly working on my creativity, as long as I'm constantly analyzing and constructing the way I express myself, as long as I'm doing something on a day-to-day basis as far as being entertaining or being entertained by something in some way, shape, or form, then I should be good in this area. So for the most part now, let's break this all down as an alignment now. So for the most part, the more I take in a routine and practicalize and make sure I'm expressing my creativity in some type of way and in a structured form, whatever I'm expressing in a routine, make sure that's being broadcasted, and make sure whatever being broadcasted is my wisdom and knowledge. So you get what I'm saying? So let's do a quick rundown. Now look, my first house Lord is in the 9th house. So the more I take my personality and align it with teaching and wisdom and knowledge, I'm good. Now, 10th house Lord is in the 10th house. More I take my wisdom and knowledge and broadcast it, get known for it, be seen, make it my status, so it can ultimately become what I'm popular for. It can become a career. Boom, that's utilizing the 10th house aspect. Then, with the 6th house Lord being in the 5th house, the more I take that and put that into a routine, whatever I'm broadcasting, the more I keep that on schedule, the more I work on that, the more it's something I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? Something I'm doing every day on a day-to-day basis. And the more it's up for to be criticized or to be looked at into as far as details, the more that is going to flourish. So whatever I'm putting into details and whatever I'm analyzing is going to be what I'm broadcasting, and whatever I'm broadcasting is going to be my wisdom and knowledge. And as long as I'm in that energy signature, it doesn't matter if I'm the most retarded person in the world or I'm the most capable person in the world. I'm going to experience that energy signature as long as I'm going with that flow. And by me knowing my natal chart, I'm going with that flow. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, I could have been not who I am and just been going with everybody else's flow, and then therefore it take longer in life to know what you're supposed to do. Sometimes it take a person all the way to they 60 years old for them to realize what they really wanted to do. And 9 times out of 10 they can't really do that. So they got to take their whole retirement check just to go get that Corvette that they always wanted. They got to take their whole retirement check just to go get that sailor boat that they always wanted. You know what I'm saying? And then they can't really enjoy it because they only got like 5, 6 more years left to live. So you got see the shit got to get kind of crazy, and they boosting up y'all goddamn retirement times. So by the time y'all retire, the next week you might be about to die. Shit is crazy in this motherfucker. But for the most part, if you just understand with your energy signature, you can get from point A to point B that much faster, and it don't matter what you're doing because you understand how you doing it. So this is the key word to understanding things when we talk about astrology. It doesn't matter what you're doing, it's how you do it. Because goddamn, when we all think about it, we all doing the same thing or trying to do the same goddamn thing anyway. It's just we get lost into whatever we're trying to do. We're trying to do that thing exactly like somebody else did that thing. No, it ain't what you're doing. That thing, it ain't about the thing that y'all doing. It's about how you got there, though. You can't get there the same way somebody else got there. Find your way to get there. Create your own map. And that's what this shit is about. Flight boss, bitch, goddamn air. I love y'all. I'm gonna go live tonight to break down everybody's shit.